If you were offered immortality, but every time moonlight shined on you, you'd be a walking skeleton, would you accept it? If so, why? Best of Reddit. Daily new uploads. Subscribe and like for more. Just do it. I would, so I could spend an eternity scaring people. You'd be like a serial killer, but you just scare people. You can get away with a ton of consecutive scarings for a little while, but once reports catch police attention, you'll need to lie low for like 5 days in between. Of just make them find a plastic skeleton in the forest to cover your tracks. Now we just need a name for this serial thriller. Edit. Changed serial scarer to serial thriller. The Rattler. If you are enjoying the video, subscribe and hit the bell to be notified of my new videos. Catchphrase. If you're not spooked now, you will be when I whip out my bone. Bit weak, but it's the best bone pun I can think of at 12 AM. That's for the boner, not the rattler. There's a boner killer on the loose. Or you can wait 50 years until people are talking about the legend of you. Then out of nowhere you show up. Patience. What is but 50 years to an immortal? What the fuck are the police gonna do other than shit a brick? And get drug tested and a physic evaluation if they are done to report it? I would, because if I ever got bored of immortality, I'd just go kidnap a blacksmith and reverse the offer with his blood. Don't forget the revenge murder. Revenge murder was never needed to reverse the curse. All they needed was a bit of blood from Bootstrap Bill's next of kin. If I got hired, I would want to sleep. What's this a reference to? I'm missing it. Pirates of the Caribbean, my guy. Only if I could choose to commit suicide. A few billion years past the end of humanity, things are gonna get really boring. Unless it turns out we're wrong and the universe is headed towards a big crunch instead of heat death. You're still looking at billions of years of waiting. Trillions. And you would survive the big crunch, so it's even longer. Our mind can't grasp how long it would be, because trillions already sounds like forever. But it's not even a sliver. I mean, a human mind is a very self-centered thing because it can only ever be itself as far as we know. So its default period of time that registers as forever is the period of time in which self exists. Right? I just finished my last exam today. This is too deep of thought right now. I just wanted cats and idiots fighting things. Edit. A hefty shout out to the group of dudes who just spammed positivity here. You folks are heroes. Edit 2. Holy moly, this is the first thing I've done to get to 1,000 upvotes. It's silly, but I'm really excited about it. I'd like to thank the Academy and the people who made the Quizlets with the exam answers on it. Holy shit, a semester passed already. I just graduated last spring and it's been the most lovely thing in the world not having to worry about finals. We've got to buddy our idiots fighting things and our cats. Maybe, but it brings up the idea of if we would have a human mind if we were immortal, our minds might shift to be able to handle this power. Like gods. Yes, I'd like one divine god mind biological alarm to wake me up 5 minutes before something happens. Shit. Imagine being immortal, outlasting all other humans, and then getting Alzheimer's. New universe. Who dis? I'm from the new universe. Pretty cool. Enjoying the video? Leave a comment below. 3. Honestly, Alzheimer's might be the best way to keep you from going insane as an immortal. So, more than billions of years of waiting. Human brains are not tested for lasting more than 100 years or so. When would your memories run out? Would old ones degrade enough to be overwritten so that you are only ever efficiently a few centuries old? What would happen for yourself? Don't worry. Insanity would kick in way before the world ended. You'd still experience the boring passage of time though. If you were literally insane, I wouldn't consider it boring. With enough time, you'd go insane. Then eventually pass back into sanity, then boredom, then insanity again. New flavors of just going batshit crazy. Depression, anxiety, fear, loneliness, split personalities, and X200B. Over and over, eons on top of eons, you'd cycle through each and every one, reacting to the very little stimuli that you happen to pass by, as ever so slowly your consciousness stretches further and further. Or, like, you'll get used to it and just hang out. I seem to recall reading that our perception of time relates to how long we have lived. This is why summer vacation as a kid seems so long, but shorter as you age. To a 3-day-old, a day is 33% of their lifetime. To a septuagenarian it's very little. Makes me wonder if after a few millennia, each century feels like a few months. I mean at some point there would be some kind of cryogenic long-term sleep thing. A few thousand years from now you can leave human beings in the past and fly off into the galaxy, scanning planets on autopilot and waking up every few thousand years to check on progress. See something cool, turn around and go back. Find a young nation, be a god for 50k years, watch them wipe each other out or thrive, then move on to be a god somewhere else. Who wouldn't want to be a walking skeleton? Invertebrates. This is what happens when you bring science to a knife fight. Edit. Wow. Thanks for the gold, stranger. I see you've played Niffy Simsy before. And your Schwartz is as big as mine. Your Schwartz is hanging out your shorts. Good thing I'm standing in moonlight and you can't see it. And the circle is complete. They lust for the bone. And snakes. I'm pretty sure snakes would love to be able to walk. Are you kidding? They look up at us with nothing but envy in their pigment spotticelli, and wish they could walk. Yeah, I fail to see a downside. If there is a downside, it's strictly on the immortality side. Honestly, there are more downsides to living forever than being an awesome skeleton on moonlit nights. I've always thought, if you're immortal you'll outlive the human race, the planet, and eventually you'll just be floating around for billions of years until the heat death of the universe. That sucks. Well, being immortal doesn't necessarily mean he doesn't have any way at all to die. Maybe it's never aging. Enjoying the video? Leave a comment below. 3. That's longevity. Immortality by definition means unable to die. The key is to have immortality with an off switch. That is the future. That's a Black Mirror episode in the making right there. Some San Junipero shit. There are different kinds of immortality. Functional biological immortality. https://en.m.wikipedia.org. Wiki. Biological immortality is what you knows it to be true is referring to. Technically you're a walking skeleton every time you walk. Depends on the terms. Am I straight up Pirates of the Caribbean? Eternal life but also eternally starving, eternally thirsty, and so on? If it's a curse then no, but if I continue as I am now, and just look like a skeleton every time moonlight touches me, then I'd do it. I could be Ghost Rider but only on full moon nights. Might be cool. No curse. Would I be able to choose to die if I wanted to, just so that I wouldn't be a floating mass of sentient atoms after the heat death of the universe? And X200b. Cause if so, sure, why the hell not? Yes, in that case, absolutely. Being able to see the wonders of technological advance, it would be incredible. But the yogurt is cursed. That's bad. But it comes with your choice of toppings. That's good. The toppings contain potassium benzoate. But the toppings are cursed. Oh no. Terry loves yogurt. Yeah, but in like a million years you still look like you, and everyone else has evolved and changed and look like elves or some shit and are all talking telepathically. So folks think you're like super deformed or whatever and make fun of you behind your back but in front of you. So, like the present? Yeah, but with telepathy. You're immortal. You've been amassing wealth for thousands of years. You can afford some pointy ear surgery. You've been amassing wealth and power for thousands of years, so the elves are probably having surgery to look like you at this point. Has no one considered the logistics of existing in the age of the internet while never getting older? You have birth records, hospital records, a driver's license, etc. Tons of data that exist in a publicly verifiable way that all say you were born X years ago. When it's your X plus 30 years old and you still look the same age, how do you deal with that? Go off the grid? Kill people and take their identities? Be insanely public about it so the CIA can't kidnap me? Enjoying the video? Leave a comment below. 3. That's how you become known as the person who made a deal with the devil and suddenly you have a ton of people looking to make your life more difficult. Now you've got even more insane people at your door 24/7 holding either vigils or protest if they don't straight up break in. The year is 5030. Technological advancements made everyone virtually immortal. Putin was just confirmed for his 335th term as president of the earth. News on the TV just speak about sports and how gays are a disgrace to humanity. Oh, and Queen Elizabeth is still stealing little kids' souls. So Fox hasn't changed much, then. Spooky skeleton dude still around. But you'd see everyone you love get old and die until you're alone. Also having to choose when to die can't be easy either. I agree with the former, but for the latter, it's not easy not having a say in when you die either. Haha. OP is making this too easy. Yes, I was waiting for the clause fuck you. You are floating in the universe alone. In that case it is also too easy though, because no one in their right mind would want to live through THD heat death of the universe. That's cool, you'll have plenty of time to get into your wrong mind, and the mental you have right now will likely be long gone. Basically that's a problem for the warlord of 10 circumflex 100 years from now to deal with. Seriously, I've got such an active imagination now. If I were just floating in space going mad however many years from now, I'd just be living inside my own dementia-laden matrix, waiting for the next big bang. Which doesn't seem so bad. Hell, maybe that's how a god is born. By immortality do you mean won't die of natural causes or literally cannot die, even from starvation, fatal wounds, etc., except by my own choice? Literally can't die. LOL, you're making this way too easy. If the only downside is really just the skeleton moonlight thing, I'd absolutely take it. I mean, you'd never really be able to go out at night. Imagine walking through the streets, moonlight peeks from behind clouds, pants fall down because you have no ass, moonlight is covered again and you're now standing naked. Because cloaks aren't a thing at all. Heck, maybe even wear a hijab. Edit. Actually, this needs to be said. The motherfucking best piece of clothing one can have is a cloak. Are you cold? Wrap it around you, and you'll get warmer. Windy, raining? Nope. Protection from the elements. Maybe you want to sit down but the bench is dirty or wet, it also works for that. Want to hide the kid you've just kidnapped? Just keep him under the cloak. Don't actually do the last one. Hell, if the option was literally nothing in your life changed, you're still mortal, but moonlight made you a skeleton, I'd go with the skeleton option in a goddamn heartbeat. Provided skeleton me's bones were still all attached, I wouldn't want it to be I'm a skeleton. Oh no, I have fallen apart, I stop being a skeleton in the day, and I'm basically deboned. Don't see much of a downside then. Watching the march of time slowly eat away your family, seeing your children's children die of old age. That sounds cursed, but what if you hate them? Then I guess it is epic immortality time. Only for their lifetime and a little after. Over 1,000 years you will grow numb after losing people each generation. Watching the march of time slowly eat away your family, seeing your children's children die of old age. That sounds cursed. You get over people's deaths, especially when you have literally eternity to move on. Does moonlight include whatever photons of moonlight are bouncing off the Cerescent moon during the daylight hours? Or does moonlight only mean when it's only the moon shining on you? If you are enjoying the video, subscribe and hit the bell to be notified of my new videos. Oh, this changed things. Almost like some kind of Moon Knight. Wait, it was a plot point of the Pirates of the Caribbean that the pirates were eternally starving and eternally thirsty? No wonder they were kinda assholes. https://youtube/1fzxnjlfy. Yup, it's literally the reason that they want the gold. Better than just dumb greed, huh? Yep, I charge to show up at Halloween parties, weddings, funerals, prom escort and bar mitzvahs, until a government body or something decides to study you. Yeah, especially for that prom escort thing. Haha, good catch. We fucking did it, Reddit. Now someone's gonna die. Different kind of burning happening. This comment right here, Mr. Officer, they can't get away with that if you're internationally famous. Illegal research relies on people not knowing it's happening. I would gladly let them do so if they paid me, however, I'm all for scientific advances. Honestly, one of my biggest fears, being alone and forgotten about forever. Damn your secret skull, man. I charge the government for my time. Fuck you think this is RSCP. Capitalism. Happy cake day, my dude. Funerals? Seems a bit distasteful. I'll take 20. Why would anyone want you at a funeral? To make it a funeral. If they learned to play the cello or other stringed instrument, you could have an actual friggin' skeleton playing sad dark jazz at your funeral. I'd pay for that shit in advance. Have one last party in my mausoleum. OP, did you just watch The Curse of the Black Pearlmon Man? Enjoying the video? Leave a comment below. 3. You best start believing in our askreddit threads. You're in one. Doo doo dun dun doo doo dun dun doo doo dun dun doo doo da dun. I love that song. What are you doing? Get back to commenting. I'm disinclined to acquiesce to your request. Haha. You should have made the downside worse, like that you have to work retail forever. Having worked retail before, that would make me think twice myself. If I'm cursed to always work retail, that means I'll always have a job. Which means I'll never be out of a job if I curse out a customer. Unless, if I'll lose the job, do I lose the immortality? If yes, I don't care what the perks are, I'm not doing it. If I basically can't be out of a job, even if I get fired, another job comes up immediately, then yeah, I'd do it, and I'd tell every shitty customer that they're shitty and why. I'd love the retail dream of putting customers in their place. I don't care if I have to bounce around from job to job. That sounds like a fucking riot. Slanging dope on the corner of MLK and Craft Street is technically retail. Dude, you could totally be a drug dealer. Can't get killed by clients. You're extra spooky at night. I see no downsides, because if you always have a job in retail, you probably won't go to jail. Dude, hell yes, I wanna be the spooky scary crack selling skeleton. Would you submit yourself to endless pain and suffering for the ability to look extra spooky on Halloween? This is the tale of Captain Jack Sparrow, pirate so brave on the seven seas, mystical quest to the Isle of Tortuga, raven locks sway on the ocean's breeze. Well, that was kinda weird. Now we're back in the club. I want the walking skeleton ability, but not immortality. Imagine all the YouTube views you would make. Plays spooky skeletons when you get a sub when you're streaming. Removed. Don't forget to smash that like button. Ding that bell and buy my merch. Technically I'm already a walking skeleton, just with meaty clothing to cover it up. If you are enjoying the video, subscribe and hit the bell to be notified of my new videos, so you'd become a super nudist when the moon's out. AIBBU lick ambon? Is it cause he would have a boner? Aubergine. Face with tears of joy. Face with tears of joy. Face blowing a kiss. Distraught face with tightly closed eyes. Aubergine. Water droplets. Drooling face. Put your calcium in me. 2 hearts. 2 hearts. Face blowing a kiss. Face blowing a kiss. Face blowing a kiss. Just me and my skull. 2 hearts. Skelly. Skull. 2 hearts. Hanging out. I got pretty hungry. Aubergine. So I started to pout. Disappointed face. He asked if I was down. Downwards pointing arrow. For something yummy. Smiling face licking lips. And I asked what, and he said he'd give me his water droplets. Skull and crossbones. Bonies. Skull and crossbones. Water droplets. Yeah. 2 hearts. Water droplets. I chew them. Skull and crossbones. Water droplets. I lick them. Skull and crossbones. Water droplets. I swallow them whole. Water droplets. Face with heart-shaped eyes. It makes skull. Heart with arrow. Skelly. Skull. Heart with arrow. Smiling face with squinting eyes. Happy. Smiling face with squinting eyes. So it's my only goal. 2 hearts. Water droplets. Distraught face with tightly closed eyes. Harder skelly. Harder skelly. Distraught face with tightly closed eyes. Skull and crossbones. Water droplets. 2 hearts. 1 bony. Skull and crossbones. 2 bony. Skull and crossbones. Skull and crossbones. 3 bony. Skull and crossbones. Skull and crossbones. Skull and crossbones. 4. Skull and crossbones. Skull and crossbones. Skull and crossbones. I'm heart with arrow. Skull. Skellies. Heart with arrow. Skull. Crown. Princess. Crown. But I'm also a whore. Heart decoration. He makes me feel squishy. Pulsating heart. He makes me feel good. Purple heart. Heart with arrow. Heart with arrow. Heart with arrow. He makes me feel everything a meatbag should. Heart with arrow. Heart with arrow. Heart with arrow. Crown. Meat on bone. Water droplets. Heart with arrow. What? Heart with arrow. Water droplets. Crown. Meat on bone. How long did it take you to type this fucking mess? It's already a copy pasta, so they just had to change a few words here and there. Bingo. The rest was from memory. I think we need to burn your memory with fire. I'm actually a skeleton, never nude. There are dozens of us. Why you do that? Your bones are wet. Your tongue is wet. Your belly button is just your old mouth. Man, they start recruiting for the skeleton war earlier and earlier each year, and X200B. But yeah, assuming no Aztec curse, skelly me up, along with some kooky skeleton shenanigans. I'll enjoy a few generations of family attachment and then later devote myself to understanding the nature of what made this whole thing happen. Some kind of magic or reality altering force. Sounds like something an immortal skeleton man might be interested in learning. Maybe even controlling. Ains time. You have literally made that offer worth twice as much to me with that condition. Could I accept and become a walking skeleton all the time? Them lich games. Yo. Yes. Then I would potentially have the craziest parlor trick you have ever seen. Given I have access to moonlight, I guess. Fuck no. I'm mortal now and asking when are we going to wrap it up. I didn't even want to be born. Having moonlight reveal you to be a skeleton is a lot better than having daylight reveal you to be a troll. So the curse of the black pearl skeletons but without the lack of taste and feel and everything? Hell yeah. Yeah, I'd be a fucking skeleton. You already are one. Just with more stuff. You're a skeleton with DLC. Edit. Are not 8. What sort of question is this? This was the plot of the entire first Pirates of the Caribbean movie. But yes I would. Imagine living on the moon in the next few decades once the ESA NASA SpaceX start building colonies on the moon and Mars. If you are enjoying the video, subscribe and hit the bell to be notified of my new videos. But if you're living on the moon, does any light then become moonlight? Then you'd just constantly be a skeleton walking around in a spacesuit. My point exactly, lol. Check the Vashta narrator. Hey, who turned out the lights? That was the inspiration behind the question, haha. This was the plot of the entire first Pirates of the Caribbean movie, with a bit more to the curse than just being skeletons in moonlight. Only sensations you could feel was hunger, thirst. Food doesn't taste anything. No pleasure from sex or anything else you enjoyed before. That's what made it a shitty deal. If it was just immortality plus spooky skeleton and moonlight, they'd be the happiest and richest pirates in the world. That's pretty much an all-around upgrade in my mind. I could dance Macabro every night, and X200B. So long as there was a way for me to die when I got tired of it. I would never, in a million years, want immortality. Number. I consider immortality a curse rather than a blessing, and that's not including the whole skeleton part. True, it might be cool to do whatever you wanted and just screwing the consequences. Wanna jump out of a plane, no parachute? Do it. Wanna drink yourself to death? No harm done, etc. But outliving everybody you know and love, watching as time passes and you're forced to live through all possible manner of atrocities, World War III, deadly plague, stuff like that, whilst being unable to do anything about it, I'd rather just live my normal life as well as I can, and once it ends, it ends. Though I'd love to be able to live long enough to see humanity finally colonize other planets. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like and hit the bell for more videos. Comment your views.